Alrighty then, Sooner Nation. It's time for the trap game. The one game that scared me to death when I heard it. That we were going to play these guys on a Thursday night. Weird things happen in Ames on a Thursday night. So, there's that. Just ask Oklahoma State. But what about Oklahoma? It's been a while since we've lost up there. In fact, here's the Sooner Stumper. When is the last time we lost in Ames? It's been a while. In fact, here's the hint to the Sooner Stumper. It was in the famous Bud Wilkinson, that era of college football. It was in that barometer, in that time frame that they lost, or last time they lost in Ames. What year was it? We'll do that. Then we'll preview everything you need to know about Oklahoma, Iowa State. All that coming up next. Don't go away. Welcome back to the Boomer Sooner 1982 preview show for Oklahoma and Iowa State. The Sooner Stumper is when is the last time that OU lost in Ames? Well, that was in the Bud Wilkinson era, the year 1960. Iowa State got them in Ames 10-6, the final in that season. What about this season? Well, this season, it is being played at Jack Trice Stadium. It will be between Oklahoma and Iowa State. The overall series is a 73-5-2 barometer. That is a 93% winning percentage. Last time Oklahoma won in this series, of course, they won last year. Got them pretty good, 52-16 in a night game. That game was in Norman. Last time Oklahoma lost in this series was also in Norman, but it was 1990. All the way back in 1990, 33-31. They lost Iowa State won that game by 2 points. The game will be Thursday night in college football. Circle that one, highlight that one, do whatever you want. Get the word out to all your OU fans. Thursday night football. College football Thursday night, ESPN at 6:30 in the evening. Who covers the Thursday night football game for ESPN? Well, I'm glad you asked because I know the answer to that. That would be Dave Fleming. Fleming is the play-by-play man. The color analyst is Jesse Palmer. He was actually at Florida from 1997 to 2000, so he was on Stoops' he was the quarterback when Stoops was the defensive coordinator when Oklahoma won that national championship. This was his quarterback, or one of the quarterbacks in that era. Also on the sidelines from the University of Florida is Laura Ruffledge. She is the sideline reporter. What if you don't want to listen to the SEC homertism and you want to listen to our guys? That's A-OK. There's a couple ways you can do that. You can go to the TuneIn app on your iPhone. Just look up Sooner Sports Network. You'll find it. It's that simple, it's that easy, and it's that cool. That's what you do. Make sure you have your Wi-Fi on, turn it down, and you can listen to Toby Rowland, the play-by-play man. Color analyst Merv Johnson, the coach, is the color analyst. Sideline reporting for the Sooner Network. Chris Plank and Teddy Lehman from Sports Talk 1400, and from 1077 and 1077 in franchise Oklahoma City, and 1079 the franchise in Tulsa. The morning show star Rufus Alexander. He handles the sideline reporting also. Football pregame remotes. You want a cool place to just grab you a couple of martinis or however you want to do it for college football pregames for home games? It's this easy. There's a couple of places to do that. You can go to the official OU tailgate party across from Caslin Fieldhouse. That is it's a cool place to go. Toby and Chris Plank and Rufus Alexander, all of them are right there at Sooner Fan Fest. That's what that's called. It's right across the street from McCaslin. You cannot miss it. The rest of the Sports Talk 1400 crew is out at Balfour or Norman, out in Oklahoma City, or out in Norman, across from O'Connell's. Speaking of O'Connell's, that's where WWLS is at. And the final member of the sideline reporting for the Sooners, Rufus Alexander, and the 1077, the franchise crew, out at the corner of White and Asp at also known as where kind of like where Chewy's is and where Hertz Donuts is. In that little parking lot, there's a beer bar. Everything you want to go right there for the goodness that you would everything that you need. That's for the fans. For us. What about statistically for the team? Well, here's what Oklahoma does statistically. We'll start with Oklahoma, who averages 45.38 points per ball game. That's 7th best in the country. That's 45 points a game, folks. It's pretty good. What about yards per ball game? Well, Oklahoma's up to 568.00. 568 total yards of offense. That is 4th best in the entire nation. Defensively, it is a bend but don't break defense that averages 325.0 yards of total offense given up. That is 197th worst in the country. Yards given up per ball game that is points given up per ball game, 32.50 points given up in a ball game. Yards allowed per ball game is 437.63. That is 192nd in college football. Not too great of a numbers there, but maybe they can figure it out. The Oklahoma Sooners are headed out by Bobby Stoops. Big game, Bob. This is his 17th year at OU. He played up the road. Speaking of Ames, he played up the road from Ames in Iowa City, Iowa. Played out there from 1979 to 1982. But at OU as a head coach, which is the only place he's been, he's got a 794 winning percentage to go with 185 wins, which is 48 losses. It does include last season, where the Sooners finished 11-2, 8-1 in league play, and finished first in the Big 12 Conference. Bowl record for Bob Stoops is 470 with a 8-9 winning percentage in 16 seasons, 16 bowl appearances. This would be number 17 right here, regardless of what happens, and we'll explain why that later. Because we have to go to the division titles in the Stoops era. Ton of these. 2000, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2006, 2007, 2008, and 2010. All those are Big 12 South Division championships. But you know, who cares about South championships? We care about the bling bling. The bling bling with the ring ring. Got a couple of those too. Has the Big 12 championship trophy, rings, the trophy, the glass, everything you would want. Has them in 2000. Went back in 2002, 2004. Then went on a streak. 2006, 2007, 2008. Took 2009 off. Won it again in 2010. won another one in 2012, and then the final one previously in 2015. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we can add another in 2016. As we already talked about, Oklahoma is already going bowling. That's because they've already got 6 wins. In fact, they are 6-2, 5-0 in league play. It all started when Oklahoma lost to Houston, 15th ranked Houston at the time, in RNG Stadium in Houston, 33-23. Got back on track against ULM in a home game. Won that one 59-17 before being just tossed around a little bit against Ohio State, number 3 Ohio State, losing that one 45-24. Then the Sooners got D.D. Westbrook healthy, and they started conference play, 5-0 in league play, as we already talked about it. It all started against TCU. Got that one nicked up 52-46 win in Fort Worth. Then in the same area in Dallas in the Cotton Bowl, took care of rival Texas 45-40 before coming home to face Kansas State, finally getting them in Norman 38-17 before going back on the road last week and getting a big 2 weeks ago to get a big 66-59 win over Texas Tech. And then last night for homecoming, got a 56-3 victory over the Rock Chalk Jayhawks of Kansas. All right, that's Oklahoma. What about Iowa State? Well, here we go with them. They are averaging 24.00 points per ball game. 24 points per ball game. That is 175th in the country, or in the nation. Their yards per ball game is at 392.75. That's 126th in the country. Their defense is at their defense allowed per ball game is at 453.00 points or yards per ball game. That is 214th in the country. Their yards allowed per ball game is at 32.38. That is 195th worst in the country. This is at Iowa State, where they've welcomed in their new head coach, Matty Campbell. It's in his first season in Ames. Played some football in ACC country out at Pittsburgh in 1998 before transferring to Mount Union and playing football there from 99 to 2002. He comes over to the University of Oklahoma, to Iowa State from Toledo. Combined at Iowa State and at Toledo, he has a .621 winning percentage with 36 wins to match 22 losses. Last year, under the last regime in Iowa State and their last head coach, finished with a 2-7 conference record, or actually 39 overall record, 2-7 in league play. That is 9th in the nation. Iowa State, when they've gotten to bowls, 200. That's 2-2 in bowl games. That's a 500 winning percentage. I'm sorry. That's for Matt Campbell. That does not include the 2015 game that Iowa State did make that bowl appearance. Has a 2004 National North Division Championship, tied there with Colorado. But Colorado advanced in the playoffs. They made it to the conference championship game to play OU. Iowa State 1-7 thus far, 0-5 in league play. They lost to rival Northern Iowa. Did Iowa State lost that one 25-20? They then lost to another in-state rival. They lost to them at Iowa, 52-3. They then lost their first conference game. They lost at TCU, 41-20. They then found a way to win that one finally. They beat San Jose State 55-19, but then lost 4 straight. They lost to Baylor 45-42. They lost to Okie State 38-31. They lost to Texas 27-6 last week, 2 weeks ago, and then just last week, yesterday, they lost to Kansas State 31-26. So they've been in a lot of these ball games. They haven't won them. Circle this one, folks. It could get a bit interesting. We'll see, though. Depending on it, if also scares me. These games have been close, a lot of them, and we do have Baylor coming up. So we don't want our guys to be peeking forward to that game against Baylor and not paying attention to this game. I don't think that'll happen, though. I think that Oklahoma can win this ball game outright. All right, guys, thanks for watching. My name's Harry James. You can find me on Facebook, Harry James Taylor, or tweet me at Sooner_fan_OK. Thanks for watching, everybody, and Boomer Sooner! See y'all next week. I'm out of here!